Hello, everyone. It is the Unreliable Sketch Artist, and it's been one freaking day. So, I am recording another movie review. Couldn't tell by the title. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like most people don't read those. Strange, isn't it? That was a joke, by the way. And anyway, today we're reviewing the action movie that I wanted to do, and it was also the request of my brother. We are reviewing John Wick. I'm just going to be really honest really quick. You know, I like this movie, like a lot. You know, not like the best action film in the world, but it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty up there. I'm just going to move my Gokus here for a second. They got in my way. My phone's being stupid. Anyway, back to John Wick. Now I look kind of crooked, I think. Anyway. John Wick. You guys, if you saw my last video, would know what my new system is. I rate the plot, the characters, and the ending on a scale of 1 to 10. And I forgot to mention and do something in the last one. I got to give the film an overall number. So, first thing I should say, it says Keanu Reeves best since The Matrix, and I kind of have to agree. I mean, there's not been too many super awesome, you know, action movies, to me anyway, since The Matrix. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree and say, you know, oh, Fast 7, I'm not really a huge Fast and the Furious fan. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Mad Max remake. Well, it's just good. Alright, Keanu Reeves does a pretty good job in this movie. So, first I have to give like a summary of the story. A retired assassin by the name of John Wick had his wife recently passed away, like a few days ago in the movie. His wife gives him a final gift, which is this cute little dog, right? And one day while he was going to get gas, he came across these punks who were Russian, and because one of them wanted to buy his car that he was in, which, John just keeps saying, you know, it's not for sale, until the guy, calls him, the version of a female dog, and he did it in Russian. So he thought that, you know, John wouldn't know what he was saying, but John just called him that right back in Russian. And the other guy got mad. So after that, John goes home. He's sleeping. These guys bust in. The dog alerts him, and he gets jumped by these guys. Now you might be wondering, he's a retired assassin and he gets jumped by a couple of punks? Well, think about it. He was sleeping, so he gets up a little groggy. He didn't know they were there, couldn't tell how many there were, and one of them sideswiped him with a bat when he got downstairs, so it caught him by surprise a little bit. So they beat him up, they stole his car, they killed his dog, and then they ran, and they sold his car. Now, John actually has such a legend in the underground assassin world. Everybody knows who he is. And you see that throughout the movie, and it's hilarious. And it's just so awesome. It makes him look really cool. And so he just goes on a hunt for this punk, who actually is the son of his old boss. So, and his boss is a little scared of him. So, you know, that's got to mean something. So he basically goes on this giant rampage and makes New York City his playground. And eventually kills his old boss and his son. And then he gets a new dog at the end of the movie. Alright, so there you have the basic plot. And now here's where I give my number on the plot. You know, I myself have not seen a lot of underground assassin movies. Meaning, like, I have not seen a lot of movies where it's like this whole world of assassins. You know, that all, you know, do contracts and they have places where they can meet in neutrality and stuff. So I haven't watched a lot of movies like that. So it's fairly new to me, that concept, and seeing it and here it just made me think it was awesome. So I gotta give the plot a solid 7.5, just because of how awesome, you know, it's like everything fits together and just, oh my gosh, it's pretty awesome. All right, just take my word for it. So now the characters. There's not a whole lot to a lot of the characters. John himself, he's very kind of well kept in a hilarious sense, and in a cool sense, until he eventually snaps in anger. So it's not really like it's kind of cool to see John do that, who's calm, collect, and cool throughout the whole movie until he just finally snaps, you know. And it makes his character seem interesting. It lets you know that this legendary assassin does have a breaking point, but other than that, there's not really much to him, except for, you know, that he's really sad about his wife, but I mean, who wouldn't be? So there's not really much to the characters, and all the other side characters, like, they're all kind of just like John, you know, so it's... And John's old boss is like your typical Russian gangster, and his son is just well, let's just say he lives the life of what you would see in modern hip hop videos. You know, a lot of the parties and stuff. So he's just like, you know, there's not much to him. I gotta give the characters a 4. I mean, there's not really... yeah, it's kind of low, but there's not really much to them. You know, they're not really super developed or anything. You know, it's whatever. And now we move on to the ending. Whew. It'd be hard for me to give it a super high rating, but it's also hard for me to give it a medium rating. After he kills his old boss's son, which he eventually forces his old boss to tell him where he is, and he eventually, you know, for trying to stop him, John goes after his old boss. So he goes, and there's this little hand-to-hand fight scene, and John ends up taking the knife in order to get to the old boss, which is kind of like a cheesy move now. You see it a lot in knife fights. But he eventually kills him, and he crawls to this, like, the back of a nearby, like, vet place, and he watches this video of his wife. You'll see him watching it a few times throughout the movie, and he just gets a new dog, and he just walks home. it's not like this super like mind-blowing ending, but at the same time it fits the atmosphere of the John Wick world, and it fits to John Wick's character as limited as we've seen it. So I have to give the ending a solid 7.5. So not too high, not too low. It just really fits with the story, and overall I got to give the movie a 7, because the world and John's legend, I don't know, it gives you this sense of, wow, I would not want to mess with this guy, and that's usually the kind of sense you want to get when watching assassin movies. You don't want to mess with this guy, especially underworld, like underground assassin movies. So 7, solid 7. Would I recommend you see it? It depends. Are you a fan of Keanu Reeves? If you are, definitely pick it up. I don't know where it fits exactly into the underground assassin movies. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend you see it, or at least I wouldn't try to give a recommendation you should see it if you're a fan of underground assassin movies. I don't know where this fits into that spectrum. Is it really bad compared to others? Is it really good? I don't know. But to me, it's an overall pretty good movie. If you're a fan of action and awesomeness of Keanu Reeves, I would definitely go see this. Or buy a copy like I have. But anyway, that'll be it for this movie review. If you enjoyed, usually I don't care if you like it or subscribe, but please leave me some feedback in the comment section below. That's what it's there for. And look forward to a sci-fi review next video. I plan to do one that I feel like doesn't get enough credit for what it is, and I'll explain more in detail in the next one. So, until then, see you guys later. Have a nice day.